Good morning, students. Today we see the second term. I think all are complete the first term, isn't it? Today we see the second term. Term 2. Okay. Unit 1, heat and temperature. Unit 1, heat and temperature. Yes, listen students. How is the temperature? Very hot or cold? Yes, very cold. In April and May, how is the temperature? Very hot. How to measure how cold and how hot? Using the temperature only to measure the how much of the hot and how much of the cold. Okay, in this lesson we see about first heat. What does mean by heat? Heat is a form of energy. Heat is the form of energy. Okay, heat energy flows from hot substance to the cold substance. Hot substance to the cold substance. Okay, heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy. Heat is the form of energy. This energy flows from hot substance to the cold substance or from cold to the hot substance. Okay. When you give the heat to the substance, okay, the object get the heat and increase the temperature. What I am saying is, if you give the heat. If you give the heat to the substance, what happens? The temperature will increase. The temperature will increases. Are you understand? Heat is one form of energy. The heat is transferred from hot substance to the cold substance, or from cold substance to the hot substance. Yes, all are clear? Heat is a form of energy. How the heat is transferred from hot substance to the hot substance, or hot region to the cold region. Hot substance to hot region to the cold region. Cold substance or cold region. Okay, are you clear about this one? Yes. Next, if you give heat to the substance, what happens? So the temperature will increase. Okay, if you take away from the heat to the substance, if you take away from the heat from the substance, okay, take away from the, which one take away from? Yeah, heat. Okay, the heat is take away from the substance. What happened? The temperature will increase or decrease? Yeah, very good, decrease. The temperature will decrease. The temperature will decrease. Yes, all are clear? Heat is a form of energy. How the heat is transferred from hot substance or hot region to the cold substance or cold region. Okay, if you give a heat to the substance, the temperature will increases. If you take away from the heat from the substance, the temperature will decreases. The temperature will decreases. Yes. Next we see that. Effects of heat. Next we see the effects of heat. Heat is supplied to the object. Okay, 3 effects are happened. What are means? Expansion, increase in temperature, and change of state. Listen. Heat energy is supplied to the substance. It brings about many changes. There are 3 important changes. First one is expansion. The second one is increase in temperature. Effects of heat. Okay. When you supply the heat to the object, three changes are happened there. Okay, first one is Change of state. Okay. There are three states in all. Liquid, solid. Sorry. First I'm writing a little solid. A solid, liquid, and gases. These are the three states of. This is the three states of matter. Okay, changing state. First is solid. I'm taking ice cube. When I'm heating the ice cube, what happened? It melted. Okay, it converted into water, isn't it? It changes in the liquid state. Afterwards, and again give the heat to the water means it boiled. Okay, it changes into vapor. How do you understand? Now, I am giving a heat. The ice cube melt. Ice cube melt and change into water. Afterwards, I am giving heat to the water. It boiled. Okay, it converted into vapor state. So, change of states. Expansion. I am giving an example for the expansion. Now I am taking a iron rod. Okay, iron rod. If you give the heat to the iron rod may expand. Okay, and a railway track, you know, the railway track, how the railway track is made using the iron rods. During the heavy sunlight means the iron rod expand. Okay, the iron rod having expand. This is the railway track, you know. This is like only the railway trackers. The railway track is made up of iron rods. Iron rods. Okay, during the heavy sunlight, giving heavy sunlight. Heavy sunlight means heavy sunlight or heavy heat means the iron rod may expand. The iron rod may expand. So what happened? So it expands means it makes a bend. If you ride and the train is paused in this way, the track is expanded. Just you think what happened? Yes, the train will upset. Okay, and that reason only the iron and the railway track having some holes. Why the holes is made in there means some air is passing through to avoid the expansion. So the solid expand when you give the heat to the substance or expansion, increase in temperature. Or if you give the heat to the substance, the temperature will increase. In your lesson in 7th standard, they giving heat and temperature. Just I am giving some introduction about the heat. It is not for our book. Now we see the temperature. Okay, what does mean by temperature? Listen, temperature involved in many aspects of our daily lives, including our own bodies and health and the weather. The weather will change every day, isn't it? Next one is how hot the stove must be in order to cook food. How much of heat is given? You cannot measure how much of heat. Okay, we need a measurement. We need an instrument to measure the temperature, how hot and how cold, isn't it? Today we see that only. Yes, in your 7th standard book, they given temperature and thermometers and types of thermometers and conversion of the degrees. Okay. Yes, isn't students? Now we see that what does mean by temperature. Now it is mean by temperature. The definition for the temperature. Okay, what is the measurement of warmness or coldness of your substance? The measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance. Measurement of warmness or coldness. Measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance is called a temperature. Yes. If you have a fever means, where you go? In hospital. To hospital. Where you go? To hospital. In hospital, the nurses what they doing? First they take out the thermometer and check your body temperature. How much the temperature will increases. Okay, how much temperature will increases. Okay, so the measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance, it is called a temperature. This is the definition. Okay, it measures of the average kinetic energy. What is meant by kinetic energy? The movement of the particles. Okay, movement of the particles. Okay, the atoms and molecules. The movement of the atoms or molecules is called the kinetic energy. So the measures of average kinetic energy of a particle in a object. What is average kinetic energy? The total average kinetic energy of a particle in an object, it is called the temperature. A temperature is related to how fast an atom within the object. The temperature is related to how fast of the atoms and molecules are moving. Okay, all the objects is made up of atoms and molecules. Okay, how fast the atoms and molecules are moving, that is related to the temperature. Yes, all are clear about what is meant by temperature? The measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance, it is called the temperature. The average kinetic energy of an object, particles in an object, is called the temperature. Okay, next one is the SI unit of the temperature. What is the SI unit of the temperature? SI unit of a temperature is Kelvin. There are 7 fundamental units, you know: length, mass, time, amount of substance, luminous intensity, temperature, isn't it? Electric current. This is the 7 fundamental quantities. Okay, this one of the fundamental quantities is the temperature. So the SI unit of the temperature is Kelvin. So the symbol is K. What is the SI unit of the temperature? Kelvin. Okay, the symbol is K. Yes, some other degrees also to measure the temperature. Some other units to measure the temperature. Next we see the temperature unit. Next we see the temperature units. Yes, listen students. What are the units to measure the temperature? First one is Kelvin. First one is degree Celsius. Degree Celsius. C-E-L-S-I-U-S. Celsius. In our television we heard about Celsius only to measure the temperature. But I am told the unit of the temperature is Kelvin. I think all are having some confusions. Okay. This is one of the unit to measure. This is the one of the unit to measure. Celsius and Fahrenheit. The second one is Fahrenheit. The second one is Fahrenheit. The third one is Kelvin. The three scales. This scale to measure the temperature. These three scales to measure the temperature. What is mean by temperature? Yes, the measurement of warmness or coldness of a particle in a object, it is called the temperature. Okay. The average kinetic energy of the particles in an object, it is called the temperature. Okay. Next one is the temperature unit. Temperature unit degree Celsius and Fahrenheit and Kelvin. The three scales to measure the three scales used to measure the temperature. Used to measure the temperature. Yes, students, all are clear? Next, we will pause the what is mean by degree Celsius, how to write the degree Celsius, what is mean by Fahrenheit, how to write the Fahrenheit, and what is mean by Kelvin, and how to write the Kelvin. Okay, now we see it. Yes, first one is degree Celsius. What is the symbol of Celsius? C. Degree means here you write a degree down. Top of the symbol you write the degree. Degree Celsius. How to say it? Degree Celsius. What is the symbol of Fahrenheit? Yeah. Degree Fahrenheit. Okay. And what is the symbol of Kelvin? K. No need to write the degree sign here. Why not? Here you write the degree. Here you write the degree. Why we are not writing the degree means degree sign is omitted here. Degree sign is omitted here. Okay. Some rules and regulation to write the Kelvin. Okay. Some rules and regulation to write the symbols and unit of the fundamental quantities and derivative quantities. Okay. So here you omitted the degree sign. Here you omitted the degree sign. Yes, all clear? Yes. Okay. How you read this Celsius? 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius. 25 degrees Fahrenheit. 30 Kelvin. Okay. Kelvin is written as K and 100 Kelvin. 100 Kelvin, for example, 100 Kelvin. The SI unit of the temperature is Kelvin, you know, yes. Okay. The Celsius is otherwise called the centigrade. The Celsius is otherwise called the centigrade. The Celsius is otherwise called the centigrade. In words you write 20 degrees Celsius. In words you write 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius. 25 Fahrenheit. 25 degree Fahrenheit. 25 degree Fahrenheit. But you omitted in a Kelvin. Yes, all are clear about the temperature units? Yes. There are three scales to measure the temperature: degree, Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Yes, all are clear? Yes. Next we see that measuring temperature. Measuring temperature. Next we see the measuring temperature. The temperature of the object will approximately within the kinetic energy of the substance. What does mean by temperature? The average kinetic energy of the substance. What is mean by kinetic energy? The moving of atoms and molecules. The moving of atoms and molecules will approximate with the kinetic energy of the substance. The high temperature means. What is mean by very high temperature? If you are having a fever, very high temperature. What is temperature means? 45 degree. Okay, 45 degrees Celsius. Okay, normal temperature 32 degrees Celsius. If you are having 45 minutes, you have a high temperature. Say it's a high temperature. So the high temperature means that the molecule within the object are moving faster. Higher temperature. Higher temperature means the atoms and molecules in our object, atoms and molecules in objects, how it moving? Moving faster. If the body is higher temperature means in objects the atoms and molecules are moving faster. All the objects are made up of atoms and molecules. Okay, if a temperature the atoms or molecules are always moving. Always in kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is moving. Okay, so moving faster means it is for higher temperature. So lower temperature means moving slow. Okay. Next part the question is arise how the molecules are measured. How the molecules and atoms are measured. If you having a question arise, okay, how the molecules and atoms are measured. How the molecules are. The molecule in a substance are very small to analyze and calculate the movement. Okay, in atoms and molecules we cannot easily calculate. We cannot easily calculate. In order to measure the temperature only. Okay. Next one is you must an indirect method to measure the kinetic energy of the molecules of your substance. We studied that solid expands when heat is applied, like other solid substance, liquid also affected by the heat. Already I am told, if you give the heat to the solid substance, it expands. If you give the heat to the liquid, it also expand. Okay, so solid and liquid and gas are affected by the heat. Okay, the next, which instrument to use to measure the temperature? Which instrument used to measure the temperature? A thermometer. Which instrument? Thermometer. Which instrument used to measure the temperature? Thermometer. Yes. Which instrument? Thermometer. Yes. In thermometer, when liquid gets heat, yes. Next, we see that thermometer. Which instrument used to measure the temperature? Thermometers. Okay. In thermometer, which one is filled in the thermometer? This is a thermometer. You know, this like only you see the thermometer. Okay. Here 1 meter scale is there. Okay. Why using the meter scale means to measure the temperature. Okay. Okay. In between that tube, having one tube. This tube is filled with the liquid. This tube is filled with the liquid. mercury. Why they use it means because of uniform expansion and shining awake and high heat capacity and having a good conductor of heat and high melting boiling point and low freezing point. Then only we use mercury and alcohol in a thermometer. Yes, students? Yes. All are clear about this concept? In thermometer, when you give a heat to the liquid, where you give the heat to the liquid, what happens? It expands. If you hold the liquid, what happens? It contracts. Yes, all are clear? Next we see the thermometer. Next we see the thermometer. Next we see the thermometer. Okay. All are know about what is mean by thermometer. Thermometer is the instrument to measure the temperature. Yes, very good. In thermometers, most common instrument to measure the temperature. There are various kind of thermometers. Somewhat like a glass. The thermometer is made of glass. It is a thin and filled with some liquid. And already I am told this thin glass is filled with some liquid, that is alcohol and mercury. That is alcohol and mercury. That is alcohol and mercury. Okay. Why you would use mercury or alcohol is used in the thermometer? Mostly alcohol and mercury are used in the thermometer means it is remind the liquid form. Remind, if you give heat or cold means it reminds the liquid form. Come to the liquid form. That wise we use alcohol and mercury. What is the first point? Reminds in the liquid form. Reminds the liquid form. What is the second point? Okay. From even change in the temperature, a small change of the temperature causes change in the volume of your liquid. Small change in the temperature. If the temperature will change means it also change the volume of the liquid. But small change in the temperature. Small change in the temperature. It makes change in the volume of a liquid. Change in volume of a liquid. Volume of a liquid. Okay, are you clear? Yes. Next, small change. Where we measure the temperature by measuring the expansion of liquid in the thermometer. Already told, isn't it? This is the thermometer. This is the bulb. Okay, in this place they measure. They making a measurements for our measuring the temperature. Here we having one glass tube. This glass tube filled with alcohol and mercury. Okay, when you give the heat means the liquid or expands. If you give the heat, the liquid or expand. Here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this place means you calculate. So the temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. 5 degrees Celsius. Okay. Yes. Listen it. 5 degrees Celsius. Listen. If you take away from the heat mix, the liquid is come to the original form, liquid form. Then only we use the alcohol and mercury. Okay. Next, the properties of mercury. Next one is properties of mercury. Next, we see the properties of mercury and properties of of mercury in this place? Okay, first organs told. Okay, what is? Yes, it expand properties of mercury. Uniform expansion. What is the first property? Uniform expansion. Uniform expansion. This is the first property. Whatever you give a heat, the temperature means the uniform expansion is there. And abuse, and what is mean by abuse? Abuse object means it does not pass through the light. It does not pass through. Wall is the abuse object, tree is the abuse object. Okay, so transparent, translucent and abuse object. Studying the 6 standards. Transparent means it allows the light to pass through them. Translucent means it partially allows the light to pass through them. Abuse object means does not pass through the light through them. Okay, does not allow the light to pass through them. What does mean by abuse object? Does not pass through the light. Pass through the light. Okay, example is tree, wall. These are the examples. Okay, this is the abuse object. So the mercury is a abuse object and shining in appearance. And shining in appearance. Shining in appearance. Give a shiny appearance. It does not stick. This is the mercury, no. This is the thermometer, no. This is the glass tube. This glass tube we fill with the mercury. Now, what is the properties of the mercury means? It does not stick in the side of the tubes. Only in the center. Only the expansions are going on in the center. Okay, here only. No, it does not stick in the side of the tube. This is one of the property. I am saying 3 properties. Uniform expansion, abuse and shiny appearance, and does not stick at the side of the tubes. Side of the tubes. It's good conductor of heat. Mercury is a good conductor of heat. It has a high boiling point. What is the boiling point of mercury? Listen. This is one more question. Okay. All are listen. What is the boiling point of mercury? Boiling point. Boiling point of mercury. Boiling means? Yes, boiling point of mercury is 375 degrees Celsius. How you read? 357 degrees Celsius. And low boiling point. High, low freezing point. Low freezing point. Low freezing point of mercury is 39, minus 39 degrees Celsius. Minus 39 degrees Celsius. Hence, wide range of temperature can be used in the mercury temperature. Yes, all are clear about the properties of mercury. A uniform expansion, it is opaque and shiny. Okay, it does not stick at the side of the tube, and boiling point of the mercury is 357 degrees Celsius, and the low freezing point is minus 39 degrees Celsius. Next we see the properties of alcohol. Why we use alcohol in the thermometer? What is the first property? The freezing point of the alcohol is 100 degrees Celsius. Minus 100 degrees Celsius. Listen, students. Freezing What is the freezing point of the mercury? Minus 39 degrees Celsius. But in alcohol, minus 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. So it can be used in the mercury very low temperature. In very low temperature, Himachal Pradesh, Delhi, very low temperature. In that temperature also, we measure the temperature using the thermometer, alcohol thermometer. It expands per degree Celsius rise in temperature is very large. It can be colored brightly, hence is visible easily. So the alcohol is colored brightly. So easily measured. Easily measured. Okay, easily measured. Yes. Students, all are clear about the properties of alcohol and mercury? Yes. What are the topic we seen in this class? Second top, the first lesson is heat and thermometer. Unit 1 is heat and thermometer. In 7th standard, they given directly temperature. I am giving some points about the heat, isn't it? Heat is a form of energy. The heat is transferred from hot substance or region or to the cold substance or the region, isn't it? The effects of heat expansion, increase in temperature and change in states. Okay. If you give the heat to the substance, what happens? The temperature will increase. If you take away from the heat from the substance, what happens? The temperature will decrease. Next we see the what is mean by temperature? The measurement of warmness, of hardness or coldness of a substance. It is called the measure temperature. The orange kinetic energy of a particle in a substance. It is called the temperature. Units of temperature: Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. Okay. Next one is the measuring temperature, thermometers, properties of mercury, and properties of alcohol. We see. Thank you, students. We will meet next class.